Hello, my name is Marcy and this is my channel, Top Shelf Bookkeeper. I wanted to just start off my channel with a mini series introducing myself and my love for books and reading. Probably the first thing you should know about me is that I am super awkward, and so these might be a little painful to watch, but bear with me because I'm leaning on the fact that I will get better with experience. And I use the word fact loosely because I guess I should say hope that I'll get better with time. Yeah, so my first video, I wanted to answer some of the questions from the BookTube Newbie tag. So the first question is, why do you love reading? I absolutely adore reading and being able to dive into a good book and escape from my own life for a few days at a time to experience life through somebody else's eyes. It absolutely amazes me the amount of detail and emotion that authors can put into their books, and being hugely empathetic. It really is. I love being able to experience the emotions of the characters as they face their challenges. The second question is, when did you start reading? I thought this was kind of a silly question because everybody learned to read when they're in first, second grade, and they don't necessarily stop reading. So everyone starts reading around that age typically. And I've always had an affinity ever since I learned to read at that age. But I guess I really got into reading in middle school, so around 10 or 11, when I started reading the Percy Jackson series. Ever since then, I feel like I've always had a book in my hand, and loved reading. The next question is, where do you read? This is also kind of a weird question for me because I don't really have a set place of where I read. Typically, it's in my room, on my bed. But sometimes I'll go out into the front room and read on the couch, or into our game room and read on the love sack. But I am a very active reader, so I tend to get excited, and I'll jump up and run around, and if I happen to bring the book with me, I'll end up reading somewhere else. Or if I'm feeling adventurous, I will go out and read in the sun somewhere. But I have a tendency to be loud when I read, so I'll laugh, or I'll talk, or on rare occasions, I will scream. Because I just get really into the emotions of everything, so I have to be really careful because I don't read well in public. The last question is, what kind of books do you read? I wish I could say I read a bunch of different kinds of books, but I tend to read mostly sci-fi, fantasy, heavy on the fantasy. Yeah, so I really love fantasy, and sometimes I'll read historical fiction. And I'm not super into romance, but if there's a little bit of romance in a book, I won't complain about it necessarily. Yeah. I do hope to start reading a wider variety of books because I know that I can enjoy them. I just have a tendency to pick out fantasy as my go-to genre. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my awkwardness. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe so you can see more of my awkwardness. And check out my Instagram and website, which will be linked below. And have a nice day.